Hello everyone and welcome to the Master of Professional Accounting and Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand information session here at Macquarie. So today this event will discuss your must-have skill for 2020, which is resilience. This webinar will be delivered by executive leaders from the Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand and Macquarie Business School, who will discuss the skills needed to build your resilience for the COVID dip and recovery, as well as what is in store for the future of accounting amid the coronavirus pandemic. Our speakers will discuss how Industry 4.0 will continue to shape the nature of accounting to ensure its value to future businesses. So today we're very lucky to have two amazing guest speakers with us here. So we have Professor Rahat Munir, who is the head of the Department of Accounting and Corporate Governance here at Macquarie, and Mr. Anthony Mattis, who is the General Manager for Strategic Engagement and Development at the Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. So without further ado, I'd like to pass over to Professor Rahat Munir, who will give you a snapshot of our Master of Professional Accounting program and focus on showcasing career options of our accounting graduates, future opportunities, and pathways to various career trajectories.
Thank you, Vishna, and it's a pleasure talking about Macquarie University and its programs. And mostly my focus would be on Master of Professional Accounting CA specialization. So my presentation is in two parts. First, I'll talk about the accounting itself at Macquarie and what is different at Macquarie and how we are different and how we are leading in accounting disciplines. And the second would be more focused on the course itself and why this course is fit for your future career. So as you know that Macquarie as one of the oldest and largest accounting school or departments, we started in early 60s with a quite large number of students. We do research in various fields of accounting, ranging from financial accounting to management accounting, and then non-traditional accounting areas like forensic accounting, cyber crimes, financial crimes, white-collar crimes, and so on. Our focus is also on ethics and sustainability in accounting. We are ranked amongst top 150 accounting schools within accounting and finance area and QS rankings of 2021. All our research is market-driven. It's all our research is applied, and it means that we connect with the industries. At the same time, we implement that research within the courses which we teach. We teach quite large number of courses, undergraduate as well as postgraduate courses. We teach all courses which are connected with the industries. It means all our courses are co-created with the industries. So they are applied, and then we give those skills which are valued by employers. All our courses are accredited by professional accounting bodies, and these courses primarily are accredited by professional accounting bodies like Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand, CPA Australia, and ACCA. And our courses are also accredited by CIMA in UK, IPA, which is a Public Sector Accounting Institutes, and IMA, which is the Management Accounting Institutes in US. It means almost every key accounting professional body have endorsed our courses or have accredited our courses for quality purposes. One of the benefit of accreditation is you fast track your qualifications, means you do your professional modules only with the professional accounting body instead of doing their foundation courses. So this is a benefit which you get as a student if you are enrolled in accounting at Macquarie University. Master Professional Accounting is one of the core flagship course of Macquarie University with a large number of domestic and international students. There are two types of these courses. One is for 2 years, if you take a foundation units, and then some core, and then specializations. Master of Professional Accounting with leadership is added value if you want to upskill yourself as an accountant to learn about strategy and the business and then leadership. then you can add that component, then the course becomes 2.5 years. As you know that accounting is changing. Many accountants and the future accountants, they're doing leadership roles. Therefore, it is very important that you learn about leadership and accountant's role as leader in this course. So we are the only one in Australia who are offering leadership components within accounting program. So there are three specializations. The oldest specialization we offered is with CPA Australia. Second specialization is ACCA, and the third specialization is Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand. Macquarie is known for good results, high distinctions in all professional accounting exams. For example, in CPA, most of our students end up with distinctions and high distinctions with a pass rate above 85%. Whereas in ACCA, many of our students are either number one in Australia or they are ranked very high overall in the world rankings also. We call them as high achievers. We recognize them, we acknowledge their hard work, and this is a regular feature which we do. Often students, they ask me, what's the difference between these three specializations? The difference basically is three different bodies and the way they operate and work. For instance, chartered accountants are very much known for professional accounting career in audit, in assurance, in forensics, as well as at the same time taxations, and then financial and management accounting. So it means if you want to be auditor in the future, if you wish to work as a financial accountant in the future, if you want to be a trusted business advisor in the future, and if you want to do auditship in the future, or want to work for a big four accounting firm or mid-tier accounting firm, or if you wish to run your own business, perhaps CA is one of the ideal qualifications. So CA is very common in countries which are called as Commonwealth countries. For example, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, all Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Europe. The second CPA is more broader in nature, while there's a depth also, but you become more of a strategic leader in the business. It means you become business experts. So you have broad range of options with you to work on different types of roles for various types of industries. So I've seen CPAs working for superannuation companies, insurance companies, banks and financial institutions, not-for-profit organizations, public sector organizations. ACCA is UK based, one of the oldest accounting qualifications. It's similar to chartered accountancy in many countries. In Australia, it is new, but evolving and emerging as a very strong qualifications. Again, if you want to be a strategic leader in business as a financial accountant or as a management accountant or finance experts, perhaps ACCA is a qualification for you. So it depends on your aptitude. It depends on your type of career you are pursuing or type of career you want to have in the future, then choose that specialization. So I'll talk more on at what time you can have, you have to choose the specializations. So this is possible when you will have enough accounting background and knowledge, you can pick that qualification. So this is with a professional, Master Professional Accounting CPA is exclusive for us. We are offering in New South Wales, no other university would offer this course. It means it's a unique course, different course for elite class of accountants, means chartered accountants. I always call them as elite class of accountants because they are highly paid, they're high professionals. Most of CEOs and CFOs, if you'll find in Australia and New Zealand as well, they are have chartered accountancy backgrounds to some extent. The other universities are University of Western Australia and then one university in New Zealand, they're offering similar course. All 5 modules of chartered accountancy, it is embedded in the course. It means when you do our Master Professional Accounting, you do CA modules also. And that ratio is in 70-30, means 70% is Macquarie component and 30% is CA components. So what does this mean? It means that when you attempt a unit here, for example, in taxations, at the end, you will give a taxation exams of CA modules. You pass that unit, it means you pass CA as well as Master Professional Accounting. All our courses will be timetabled according to CA's timetables. It means students will be given enough time to sit in the exams. We develop courses, we deliver them, and then have assessments as required by Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. So all our syllabus, materials, teaching notes, help material to students who will be in this course would be provided by Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand, and then we have developed that course in partnership with Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. As I said, that all modules are embedded. It means you are not studying anything different. You're studying absolutely whatever Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand they require from us. Students are required to pass CA exams in order to pass units as well. It means if in order to pass a unit of Macquarie University, you have to pass CA exams. As I said, that our results are, provide evidence that our students always perform well. So it means that the team who will be teaching CA modules and CA exams are the ones who themselves are chartered accountants. They have given CA exams. They understand the tricks of chartered accountancy and so on. Therefore, Macquarie has always performed better in professional accounting examinations. There is a capstone module in CA, which is the last unit which you do before you start your CA practice or chartered accountancy practice. That module is also embedded in Macquarie University's Master Professional Accounting course. While doing that course, you enroll in CA, ANZ's modules as well. It means a double help will be provided to you by us as well as by Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand in order to pass that module. It means that's the last unit of Master of Professional Accounting as well as Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand's CA program as well. Macquarie University will organize mentors. This is one of the conditions. This is one of the requirement of ANZ for any chartered accountants. Before practicing, they have a mentor. Mentor is a senior chartered accountant working in industry. We are working with chartered accountants Australia and New Zealand to organize those mentors for our students. So Macquarie is responsible and will provide mentor, someone working in Big Four accounting firm or mid-tier accounting firm or someone else who is a chartered accountant. For instance, in our academic team, we have many chartered accountants. Like myself, I'm a chartered accountant as well. So we would be mentoring those students. So at the end, once you finish Macquarie's units and CA 5 modules, you'll get Master of Professional Accounting and CA full membership. Isn't it exciting that 2 top quality qualifications you're going to get once you finish this course? So this is unique course, this is different course, this is a world-class course once you are in this course. So this is a snapshot or helicopter view of what the course is. So you'll see that there is a core zone, and within that there's a foundation and then some prerequisites for CA modules. You can get RPL if you have prior experience, or if you have done these units somewhere else at a master's level, or at the same time informally you have learned something about these units. You can get a maximum of 80 credit points of RPL from Macquarie University. As I said, that you can add up leadership. In leadership, 2 units would be essential units. Leadership in management and strategic management. After that, you have an option set of choose 20 credit points, means 2 units. Each unit is of 10 credit points, which you can pick and choose. And one of the unit is business internship, where you, whether you're a domestic student or international students, we will provide internship opportunity to you, which is Macquarie's responsibility if you are in that specific unit. So that's in terms of knowledge and what we do and our help. During this course, we'll try to build your skills also. If you look at Chartered Accountants Australia New Zealand's skills framework, they focus on communication, teamwork, problem solving, critical thinking, ethical practices, and sustainability awareness. And then information systems and technology is a part of the skills which they expect from all chartered accountants or any accounting graduates. We at Macquarie University are very focused on providing these skills. We have number of units and assessments embedded in this course, which provides you all these 7 skills, starting from communication, whether it is verbal or it is written communication, group work, teamwork, problem solving, thinking carefully and critically, ethical awareness and sustainability awareness, and then embedding IT across all the units. So it's a blend of knowledge skills. So with this, I'll stop it here and hand over to Anthony to share about chartered accountants and then how this partnership would benefit students in their careers. Anthony, over to you.
Thanks very much, Rahat, and always a pleasure. And it's always a delight working with Macquarie University, as we have for many years now. And obviously moving forward, there's many more to come. It's an exciting time to be part of the accounting profession. And I suppose probably one of the most obvious things I'd like to start with, Rahat, is I suppose the notion of accounting study and what it can give rise to. And I think a lot of people traditionally would identify accounting study with an accounting role in general terms. But I think, as you've touched on, particularly through areas around, the core generic skills and the like, accounting study equals accounting skill, and it's a life skill that is so relevant and beneficial, not just now, but well into your future career. I'm going to share my screen, if you don't mind, just to share a presentation in and around Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand and who we are. So Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand represents 125,000 current and aspiring business leaders. Our members work in diverse roles across commerce and industry, academia, government and public practice throughout Australia, New Zealand and around the world. We're currently Australia and New Zealand's only member of the Global Accounting Alliance, which is an exclusive collection of 10 of the leading professional accounting bodies in the world, committed to maintaining a benchmark of professionals spread across 200 countries worldwide, giving you the opportunity to connect with those who share your goals and could also help you achieve them. We are also a member of the Chartered Accountants Worldwide, which is also referred to as CAW, which brings together members of 14 chartered accounting institutes to promote the CA designation and create a community of over 1.8 million chartered accountants and students in more than 190 countries. Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand is also a member of the International Federation of Accountants, otherwise known as IFAC, and has maintained a strategic alliance with the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants since 2016. What is a chartered accountant? So in front of us, we've got a couple of images of individuals, just by way of example, who are well-rounded business leaders who strive to make a difference. They are equipped with technical and soft skills, exceptional commercial acumen, professional skepticism, and critical thinking. They have a passion for lifelong learning and keeping up to date with the changing nature of the business, all within an ethical framework. On the screen, we have Rebecca Glover, Senior Director, Corporate Accounting, Financial Planning, Reporting and Analysis from World Vision International. We then have Manuel Vlanders, who is the Head of Finance and Corporate Services for Australian Sailing. We've also got Anna Lee, the Chief Operating Officer from the Iconic, and Simon Lamanalona, the owner of Jetboard New Zealand. And if you do visit our site, you can see their actual stories in more details and particularly their journey. Why become a chartered accountant? So chartered accountants gain and maintain a unique skill set, have an exceptional grasp of business, be part of a professional network of bright minds, develop real-life practical business experience, have the ability to work in various countries throughout the world, and be in demand. The top 100 global brands employ chartered accountants. So where you can work as a chartered accountant. So earlier, Rahat touched on the various sectors and the like, and what's really important as young professionals or aspiring young professionals is to explore the many opportunities that a qualification and a professional qualification can give rise to. So the skills of a chartered accountant are currently in high demand across a wide range of industries. So for example, the Big Four. So global accounting firms often provide international opportunities and incredible training and development opportunities. The Big Four are known as Deloitte, Ernst & Young, otherwise known as EY, KPMG and PwC. But of course, there are mid-tier accounting organisations. With 6 or more partners, a mid-tier firm can offer a chance to specialise. Mid-tiers are also a great place to build strong networks with senior managers and partners with whom you'll work on a daily basis. Crowe Horwath, Pitcher Partners, RSM, BDO are just a few, if you like, of the examples of such firms. Small to medium accounting organisations. Firms defined as SMPs have been between 2 and 19 employees and can offer you a broad range of learning. SMPs experience may lead to a career path you may not have considered as well. Then, of course, we've got public sector and government, which are careers that can include working with key policymakers, legislators, budget writers with career opportunities spanning local, state and federal entities like the Australian Government or the Australian Securities and Investments Commissions, just for example. But of course, there's also other sectors such as the not-for-profit. So if making a positive difference is appealing, chartered accountants can have an influence in improving today's world with organisations like Oxfam, RSPCA, UNICEF and World Vision. And of course, corporates. Sitting at the very heart of business, large corporates range from companies in financial services and commerce to fast-moving consumer goods. Companies like Westpac, eBay, Vodafone and Coca-Cola, just to name a few. So on this slide here, it's about becoming a student affiliate. So what's really important as you study and you progress through your studies is to be an active member of the profession. And one such way to do so is by signing up to our free student affiliate program, which will kickstart your career in accounting and finance. It's free. It has the most up-to-date articles and information from you, unlimited. Be the first in the know for career events and networking opportunities. Receive timely updates about vacation and graduate positions. Access valuable career tips and job advice. And join a group of like-minded individuals. So I'd encourage you to take stock of this image and hopefully you'll join not long after viewing this presentation. So the Chartered Accountants program has been touched on by Rahat, and I'll add to it here as well. So the program is the qualifying program for full membership into the Chartered Accountants ANZ and the award of the CA designation. It consists of the completion of 2 components. Education, so the graduate diploma in Chartered Accounting. So it's the academic component of the program comprising 4 modules of technical study and an integrated capstone module. The program also has the option to undertake CA Masterclass, although in this case, you'll be gaining your experience through the Embedded Masters program. But of course, there'll also be the practical experience component, which will be in addition to the theoretical component you'll be undertaking through the embedded relationship. And here's just an example, if you like, of the program and how it's and the modules. So the 4 technical modules and the integrated capstone module. You can stay connected with us, which is really important through these various means. And it's really important that you start building your professional networks as soon as practically possible. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and revert back to some additional comments, if you like, and comments around the relationship, if you like, and particularly the embedded program. So the key features of the Masters program, if you like, it's 2 years full time, and the Macquarie University subjects will only take place in year 1, and the blended subjects between CA program and Macquarie will currently take place in year 2. The CA program consists of 4 technical and a final capstone module: taxation, management, accounting and finance, audit and assurance, financial accounting and reporting. Students must successfully complete all 4 technical modules before undertaking the final capstone module. Prospective students must meet the following entry criteria: hold an undergraduate degree with a 65% weighted average mark. If an international student, have an overall IELTS score of 6.5 or above. Macquarie will also handle all student enrolment inquiries and liaise with Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand directly to ensure the CA program module enrolment. The program will be delivered via a combination of online and face-to-face formats. Students will be given access to Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand's online and hard copy study materials for their CA program technical modules, as well as being required to attend face-to-face workshops for the final capstone module. Macquarie University will concurrently run a related subject for each CA program module, which will offer face-to-face classes and further study materials to support student learning. Students will be required to complete the Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand assessments to pass each CA program module. These assessments will contribute 70% towards the overall marks for the Macquarie related subject. The other 30% will be based on attendance and participation. The Macquarie University will award the final master's qualification. So more specifically about the partnership. So the CA Embedded Masters of Professional Accounting program offered in partnership between Chartered Accountants Australia New Zealand and Macquarie University was developed out of Chartered Accountants in Australia New Zealand's strategic initiative to offer more flexible and diverse pathways to becoming a chartered accountant. This pilot program offers the first opportunity for full-time students to complete both a Master's Award qualification and their professional CA program study concurrently. Macquarie University was selected as our exclusive New South Wales pilot partner university based on their international recognition as a high-quality provider of accounting education and their graduates, and their long history of successful progression to the CA program. ANZ and Macquarie University will work closely together to ensure a supported student learning experience throughout the final year of the Master's program, where students will complete all of the required CA program modules via the combination of online modules delivered by CANZ and face-to-face classes and additional learning materials delivered by Macquarie University. As a graduate of the Master of Professional Accounting CA specialisation, you'll be attractive to prospective employers as you will have completed all of the academic and professional study requirements, and you'll only be required to then complete the 3 years of mental practical experience to become a chartered accountant. Now, in terms of the future career in accountancy, trends, career zones and the like, with the emerging technological changes impacting current and future accounting practice, the accounting profession of the future needs to adapt into their new roles, which are becoming less transactional, process-orientated, and more analytical and advisory. Information and communication technology and professional capabilities are becoming as important for the future accounting professional as their technical capabilities in the traditional accounting topics areas such as taxation, audit, finance, management accounting, and financial reporting. The future accounting profession needs to know how to extract, manipulate, interpret, present data, as well as being able to communicate their insights effectively, creatively, and ethically. Our recent capability research findings highlight that future leaders in the accounting profession will be critical thinkers, problem solvers, and great communicators and collaborators, and that these capabilities, when complementing technical knowledge, are becoming more and more critical in ensuring career success and sustainability. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you on your journey.
Thank you, Anthony. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a Q&A with Professor Monier and Anthony. So I'm just going to ask you both some questions from a student's perspective, and you share your insights and any advice that you have for us. So on that, the first question is, so we've been speaking about resilience today, and this is especially relevant during the coronavirus pandemic. So we know that resilience is something that can help get us through and overcome uncertainty and hardship, but it's something that we're not born with, and it's built over time through our experiences. So can you both share your experiences in terms of resilience in the accounting industry?
So in terms of the accounting profession, I think the resilience piece has a different sort of reflection or impact, if you like, depending on what stage you're at. So if you're a student right now, there's been some obvious struggles, you know, going from a face-to-face environment, moving into an online environment only. And then coupled with, I suppose, the financial stress that can come with the fact that at some parts of the pandemic, we've been forced into lockdown, which has meant that we haven't been able to connect with people, interact with people, and at times obviously work. And so I suppose the compounding factors that then, as a result of those elements, you know, not being able to work, not being able to connect, that fear of isolation really, I suppose, has played a part in people's well-being or lack of at certain times. So that ability to, I suppose, acknowledge that first and foremost, and the notion of wellness has become more prevalent, I should say. But I think along with that, visionary, is also the importance of being kind to yourself. So I think it's important to manage your expectations in this current climate. It's not like you're going through this or I'm going through this on my own. We're going through this, not just together, but globally. And then if you look at it from the lens of a practitioner, if you like, or people working in the profession more broadly, there's a lot of duress in the marketplace. Obviously, small business particularly has been impacted, as have large businesses for that matter. And what we're finding is the need for us as professionals to find ways to how we manage the current circumstances, how we manage the financials, how we make sure that, you know, the business has got a going concern attached to it and things like it. But if you're a leader, that's another layer of complexity, where I think leaders need to, you know, develop and you know, display, if you like, that resilience capability in terms of managing teams remotely. So historically, we've all been tasked with managing teams, and I suppose managing teams remotely in the sense of location, geographically, or different office locations. But now we're seeing some organisations having hundreds of home offices now to manage. And so there in itself lies a challenge of staying closely connected with your people. So the long and the short of it is that the resilience piece is very important to identify. It's important to build that capability and skill. But the best advice I would have right now, whether you're a student or a working professional, is to reach out to people, stay connected, build your networks as best you can, whether it's in the written form, the verbal, in terms of picking up the phone, or through a connection like today through Zoom. But staying connected is really important. Rahat?
Oh, no, thank you very much. I think, Anthony, you have covered everything. So basically, in a nutshell, the message is if it's good to have a mentor at this stage, and that mentor, whether someone close to you or even someone working in the industry, your boss or your friends or your parents even, all right? So would be able to guide you well in during this difficult time. So mentoring is very important. Yep.
Yeah, Raha, can I add to that as well, if you don't mind? You make a really good point about the mentor piece. And having a mentor is really important. But I suppose from a mentoring perspective, I know that Macquarie University has well-established mentoring programs. So whether it's the Lucy mentoring program for young female leaders, there's the First Step mentoring. So Macquarie is well placed. So I'd encourage students and future students to consider embracing these wonderful opportunities that are being offered by the university. But I think equally important, it's important to be highly self-aware. So I like to use this example that when we're driving a car and we get a flat tyre, we tend to pull over very quickly because we know we've got a flat tyre. But when it comes to our mental flat tyre, we tend to think we can keep pushing through it. And what that's doing is we think, oh, I'm being resilient. Well, in actual fact, you're probably damaging yourself more. So knowing when to stop is really important. That allows you then to reflect and build that resilient capability moving forward.
Thanks, Anthony.
Amazing, thank you. That was such amazing advice for all of us. So while we're still talking about the importance of resilience for ourselves as workers and also for business in general, especially in uncertain times like these, there are questions that arise about the future of accounting and the role of artificial intelligence in replacing accounting jobs. So what are some of the myths about accounting careers, and why should we still be inspired to pursue this career? And how would you see the future of accounting?
Thanks, Vishna. I think this is very interesting and controversial question as well. I always call it controversial because for the day accounting was born, I'm talking about 400-500 years ago, accounting is evolving, accounting is changing and dramatically changing. But since last 3 decades or 30 years and so, accounting has really changed, and the role of IT has increased in accounting. So accountants are no more doing what they used to do 50 years ago or 60 years ago. They are doing that stuff, but that has been taken over by machines. So it means machines are, with artificial intelligence, play a very important role in accounting and accounting professions. So accountants have moved away from traditional bookkeeping roles. Now they are more into business advisory roles, decision-making roles. That's why, you know, when we look at the skills framework of Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand, or Macquarie University's skills framework, problem solving, critical thinking is important. And then how you communicate once you solve a problem, and then how you communicate to the stakeholders, internal or external, that is critical. So accounting is changing and will keep on changing in the future. But the role of accountants would never end, would never die. Accountants would stay, but they'll be doing a different types of activities, in simple words, or different types of role. Artificial intelligence has contributed a lot into that. For instance, accountants are very much in forensics nowadays. It used to be lawyer's job in the past. Accountants are in cyber space as well, but in the past it used to be scientists' jobs, cybersecurity and so on. Accountants are doing all those activities to safeguard companies' interest and minimize risks which attach to the cyber. Blockchain has become very common nowadays. Cloud computing and cloud accounting, I would say, is very common, and there are many softwares available in the market which are accounting softwares but use artificial intelligence and so on. So machine learning has become important part of accounting, and we have embedded those skills into our courses. And again, back to change in accounting will keep on changing. And this is the reason why Macquarie always keep on upgrading its courses, go back to the industry practitioners, learn what are the new areas of accounting which is evolving. So in our courses, you'll find forensic accounting, cybersecurity, blockchain. At the same time, we also teach like information systems developments and practices. These are very common courses and part of the course, Master Professional Accounting CA course also, where we teach all these new areas which make our students futurists, future oriented.
Rahat,
Any to add? Yep.
Yeah, Rahat, thank you. I think you've addressed that really well. And I think what's really key to the future of the profession more broadly is that we might be moving towards a very technology-centric environment of sorts, but more importantly, we can't lose sight of the fundamentals of accounting and the discipline of. There are a number of organisations that have introduced artificial intelligence, tools and the like, only to find that they have had to produce exceptions, and the AI hasn't worked as it was designed to or had planned to achieve the goal. So in actual fact, they were having to revert back to manual accounting skill, if you like, of debits and credits. So I think it's important that, understanding the literacy around a balance sheet, cash flow management, a profit and loss, and understanding the story behind the number. I think technology, what it's going to do is allow us to get a lot more information a lot quicker. And to your point around that trusted advisor, what is it we do with this information? How do we manage it? And what are the decisions we're going to be making moving forward? So I'm definitely probably one of the proponents, as are many of my colleagues in the profession, that see that there's wonderful opportunities ahead for young professionals looking to build their careers on accounting skill.
Great, thank you. I think that's a really important takeaway for all of our viewers, that artificial intelligence and technology is helping the profession evolve rather than replacing the jobs. And if anything, our accountants are becoming more important. So I think that's a really great takeaway for everyone. So moving on to things like career options. So Anthony, in particular, you did mention earlier a wide range of career opportunities like management accounting and consulting and tax and auditing. So could you both share your thoughts and tips on the pathway to these different types of careers and just the range of pathways that our accountants can go through?
Thanks very much. And it's a great question. And look, there's a lot of students, whether they're at undergrad or postgraduate level, who probably aren't necessarily certain of where they want to go in the first instance, and they will tend to follow the pack. And I think what's really important is, as a young student, when I say young in terms of your year of study, if you like, not in terms of age, what's really important is some basic elements. So having a LinkedIn profile, starting to connect with organisations, initially just through their homepages and the like, starting to consume some of the reports and the media and elements around their activities that might help you determine your preference of one firm over another. I think what's important beyond determining whether you want to work for a big four or a mid-tier or an FMCG or a not-for-profit or a public sector organisation is also to start thinking about, I suppose, the actual skill in itself. And Rahat talked about this as well in his earlier remarks in terms of, do you want to be an auditor? Do you want to be an internal auditor? Do you want to be a forensic accountant, a treasury accountant, a cost accountant, chief operating officer, whatever it is you want to pursue. So in one breath, you need to consider the organisation and then consider the function within that organisation. What's really important for students, particularly now, is to consider a range of options. We all know that there's a potential potential challenge around securing your first role, as is in most times, but particularly more so now in COVID. And so you've got to start thinking about, well, what are the firms I'd like to work for? What would be my second and third option? And start putting plans in place. And Macquarie University has a wonderful career service that's well placed to assist students, whether you're an undergrad or a postgraduate student. They have a PACE function that allow you to get experience and interaction with the broader community. So look, my counsel would be is, if you don't know where you necessarily want to go, albeit what you'd like to do, that's okay. However, please make sure you invest in yourself and your employability skills, that when an opportunity does present itself, you're well placed to proceed.
Thanks. And just to how to operationalize that, Anthony, you have covered everything. I think it's good to have conversation with your academic advisors once you are at Macquarie University. They would really guide you whether you need to go into management accounting and why you need to go into management accounting or financial accounting or audit or internal audit versus external audit. So they are experts in guiding and they know the markets. And then the role of mentor also comes. They would be able to guide you. Every discipline is important within accounting. Every aspect of accounting is important. The demand is increasing in management accounting as well as in financial accounting. At the same time, we are having more and more job in cyber security as well. Forensics is a huge market now in forensic accounting, and it's growing day by day in Australia and New Zealand and globally as well. Wherever I've gone, I've seen a number of forensic accountants working. And mostly they have a qualifications from Australia, chartered accountancy from here. So it's good to have conversation with academic advisors at Macquarie University once you are in your first year towards the second semester. And at the same time, have a consultation with your mentor. Macquarie is very good, as Anthony mentioned, in appointing mentors. You doesn't need to be part of a mentoring program. Even if you want to have a mentor, just connect with your unit convener or your lecturer or head of departments, in this case with me. And I may send that request to Anthony to become your mentor or someone else. This is our trusted industry partners and friends have been doing for us for a very long period of time. Vishnu, thank you very much.
Can I just have one last comment? Sorry, Rahat, that's a really good point. The academic leaders at Macquarie are very well connected, and Rahat, I know you invest a lot of time in building substantially meaningful relationships with industry and industry leaders. And I think as students, we don't often see our academics or our academic contacts as people of influence. And one thing that you've demonstrated in the years I've known you is your definite reach and your genuine intent to develop your students, not just in the classroom, but outside of it. And I think that's been a tipping point for Macquarie University over the last few years particularly. And look, I've had great joy working with your students, as you know, well beyond their tenure as students and as young professionals. But I know they all reflect fondly of their time and the interactions they've had with you and your colleagues.
Thank you both. So now that we know about the career options and the support offered specifically by Macquarie, let's turn our attention to Macquarie's accounting students and how they would launch their careers. So how could our students work with both Macquarie and the Chartered Accountants to take advantage of our program and the partnership and start their accounting careers?
This is a great question. Basically, the purpose of partnership is that students that work for Macquarie at the same time, they would be connected very closely with Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. And the beauty of this course is once you are enrolled with us at Macquarie University, simultaneously, you would become part of Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. Now that partnership is not just for the resources and the teaching materials or the lecture notes or assessment tasks, or you give exams and we take exams. It is beyond that. For example, mentoring experience is very important to become a CA. 3 years is required. Anthony has shown it in one of his slides. So we both institutions would work with a student to find a good mentor for that student. So depending on whether that's a domestic student or international students, we would be working hard to connect you with the industry. So that's where Macquarie University and Chartered Accountants Australia New Zealand would come into play and helping students. So partnerships are always good, collaborations are always good, Your productivity would always be very high once you collaborate, you have a partnership with professional accounting bodies. Both are top, like Macquarie University is one of the top university in the world, 195 ranked in the world. At the same time, Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand is one of the finest professional accounting body on the globe. So both top institutions, when they create a partnership, that would always be benefiting students. So it is about reaching out to us, but at the same time, if you're not reaching out to us, if you're part of this course, then we will reach out to you, and then we'll try to find what exactly help you need, and we will build your career being a very successful chartered accountant and professional accountant in the future.
And Rahat, thanks very much for that. And I'd like to add a couple of more comments if I could. As young students, and again, I use the reference to young in terms of stage of study. So again, undergrad, postgraduate. What's really important is that you're active. You're building your brand. You're building your professional networks very early in your tenure. So becoming a student affiliate is really important. I almost see that as a not negotiable. And that will give you access to a whole range of resources that will equip you with a whole series of tools and techniques on how to better position yourself in the employment market, as well as give you experiences whilst you're studying. It also then will open up opportunities around whether you are eligible to become a CA rep or representative, so being an ambassador for us at Macquarie University, or depending on your capability and your aspirations, whether you become a CA speaker in the future as well, that will also enhance your brand and your profile upon graduation as well. Be active. It's really important as students that you can demonstrate to your future employer your willingness to give, not necessarily take. So becoming part of the student society or the accounting student society at Macquarie, I'd encourage you to consider as well. I'd consider you to volunteer at open days. Consider yourself volunteering at O Weeks. Be an active member of the Macquarie University community, because ultimately there may not be an opportunity for everyone to secure a role, but Rahat will attest to this. There's a saying that talks about it's not what you know, it's who you know, but it's also about who they know. And so it's really important that if Rahat knows that you're active and that you can demonstrate a good work ethic and a strong drive, Rahat will reach out on your behalf and say, look, Anthony, I've got someone that I'd welcome an opportunity if you could seek one through your networks. And that's the way it works. So we'd encourage you to start thinking about your professional development, your career aspirations, your employability skills, day one, not the last day before you're about to graduate. And that's probably the best advice I'd like to leave you with today, is start investing sooner than later. Thank you.
Perfect. So just one final question for you both. We have spoken quite a lot today about being a proactive student and making the most of the program and the industry partnerships that we offer. So to end on a more personal note, you both have a wealth of experience in the industry. Anthony, you just touched on this, but what advice would you like to leave our prospective students with today? What's the take-home message?
I think, Anthony, you have already covered, but I'll leave it to you, Anthony. You have already covered this one anyway.
Yeah, look, I suppose the take-home message for me is quite simply, again, be present, be active, and be interesting. And that be interesting piece is really important. Particularly, it's more about being relevant. For the international students, I've had the great pleasure and privilege of working with many international students through Macquarie University, and I continue to be part of their professional journey through mentoring relationships and the like. And the bit that makes me so proud of them is their resilience, their ability to face adversity, and I suppose get on with things. And what I mean by that is they've looked at opportunities and seen barriers as not as setbacks, but ways in which to challenge their own thinking. And they might have gone and worked for a smaller firm and then another smaller firm before they've secured the dream job. And I'm so proud of when they do that. So I think what's really important is that students have got to understand that there is more than one way to achieve success. You're each on your own journey, and focus on yourself.
Thanks, Anthony. I always say golden nuggets, basically, maybe one or two I would contribute here. One is relevance, taking your points. Anthony, I think that is very important, and challenging yourself, that's critically important. So I've seen students very successful, those who challenge themselves. I think that is important. Second is when you are in any career, never say no. All right, so always say yes. All right, so that this is critically important. So I've seen people, they pick and choose work, and sometimes they are branded as weak work habits or attitudes, and they have seen very good students failing in their professional career because of that. So never say no. All right, so always say yes, and then ball is in your court to what extent that yes is, how big that yes is, how small that yes is, so you can manipulate around and work around around that. Yes, I think that is very, very important for any students, any graduates when they start their career. And even like if you are working for a company for a very long period of time, you're senior, still saying, yes, I can do this. Thanks, Vishna.
Beautiful, thank you both. So that's all the information that we have for you all today. I want to extend a big thank you to our wonderful speakers, Mr. Mattis and Professor Munir, for their time and their advice today, and to all of you watching for joining us. So if you have any further questions or you'd like a more detailed discussion about what we covered today, I've just shared a link on your screens where you can go and book a one-on-one personalized consultation with us. So you can have a chat, ask any questions that you have about the program, and hopefully we'll see you then. Thank you.